Today, October 19, is War Widows Day. The government has established this day to recognise war widows and widowers of members of the Australian Defence Force for their contribution and personal sacrifice. As the Premier and Minister for Veterans have stated, War Widows Day is an opportunity to acknowledge the contribution and personal sacrifice made by more than 15,000 surviving widows and widowers of servicemen and servicewomen across New South Wales. The date itself has been selected to acknowledge the birthday of Mrs Jessie Vassie, OBE, CBE, the founder of the Australian War Widows Guild in 1945. Mrs Vassie was the widow of Major General George Vassie, who was killed en route to New Guinea during the Second World War, and worked tirelessly to ensure that war widows were recognised by governments in Australia and given the financial support and services they needed. Australian War Widows New South Wales provides essential support to improve the lives of widows and their families impacted by Defence Service through understanding their needs and advocating on their behalf. On this very special day, I would like to acknowledge my great-grandmother, Gladys Corman Nee McLaughlin. I remember her as a happy lady who had a cockatoo, and I remember getting on the ferry with my grandmother and my sister Narelle to go and visit her in Bundeena. Despite her happy demeanour, she had quite a number of tragedies occur in her lifetime. Her father, William McLaughlin, was killed in Bullecourt in World War I, and Gladys herself became a bride, a mother, and a widow, all in the space of 12 months. Her first husband, George Blackwell, died due to the Spanish influenza pandemic. Whilst in hospital with her new baby Jack, they propped her up in her bed and had his funeral procession go past the window so she could actually see it, because obviously with the pandemic, that was no one was allowed out, similar to what we've experienced here in the last 24 months. So I can imagine everyone here can appreciate how difficult that would have been to watch your husband's funeral progress through a window after you've just had a baby. I mean, it's just beyond tragic to imagine. The state here has been through similar times, and she did, however, go on to have another 6 children with a new partner, Adolf, and my grandmother Myrtle was one of those 6 children, and there were also 5 boys: Harry, Billy, Jimmy, Normie and Eb. Jimmy passed away on Christmas Day at only 9 months old. I did, however, see my great-uncle Eb on the weekend that we've just had, and he is very well. However, Harry, Billy and Normie have all passed on. I wear my great-grandmother's medals today in honour of her and my great-uncles who fought in World War II. Both Harry and Billy fought in Papua New Guinea. Norman, however, died at age 19. And his name is on a scroll at the Australian War Memorial. The medal I wear on the left is what my nan would call the service medal, and there's 2 stars at the bottom, each representing a different child that served. One was my uncle Bill, and one was my uncle Normie. Harry, who was the older of the 3, was actually married at the time, so his wife Beryl would have had a similar service medal representing his service to the country. And this one here is actually the medal representing Normie's passing during his service to the country, and there's 1 star on the bottom of that. So today there was many women here to commemorate today's service that was put on here in Parliament, and I was chatting to many of the war widows that were here, and many of them had actually seen the service medal before, but they had never actually seen this medal except in books. So it's quite a rare medal to see. So I was honoured to speak to the many women that were here today and to share their stories, and I'd like to thank the Veterans Minister David Elliott and the Premier for putting on such an auspicious and important occasion. We will remember them.